Hello, guten Tag, Sziasztok. Why to start a travel blog? So that's what we're doing. Actually, thanks to a request today, which I'm really excited about. It's fitting that this video is brought to you by Bluehost because they are the self-proclaimed best web hosting. Bluehost was founded in 2003, which in terms of the internet is like ancient, and in terms of hosting, this is a really good thing. Like, you know, they have the experience and you know that they're trustworthy. There are a lot of things that go into starting a travel blog, and in the beginning it can seem like unnecessarily complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Essentially, there are two parts to it. There's the hosting and the domain name, and the hosting is kind of like how you would rent a shop or something for your business, and the domain name is kind of like how you would buy the name of your business. You can do them separately, and that's kind of what I did in the beginning. I regret that now because it turns out Bluehost, for example, you can do both of them on there. Bluehost is primarily about web hosting, so the whole you rent from them, but they also, for the first year, they offer you a free domain name, so to me it makes a lot more sense to do it all in one place. Additionally, they have 24/7 support, and when you're starting a travel blog, trust me, you're going to want 24/7 support. They also work hand in hand with WordPress, which is something that you'll have used countless times, but you won't have noticed. It's kind of like the plugins and the pop-ups, and it's important for SEO. Bluehost usually charges $8.99 a month. They have an offer at the moment so that it's $3.95 a month, but additionally, because you're watching this video, and I love you for watching this video, I can offer it to you for $2.95 a month. Basically, for the price of a coffee, you can have your own business. So why make a travel blog, especially now during Corona where you can't even travel anywhere?
I guess you can set it up for when you'll be able to travel later.
Yeah, exactly. I started traveling before I started travel blogging, and then I always felt like I was running behind a little bit on making the content and doing all the behind the scenes stuff. Actually, quarantine has been a good time for me to do all the stuff that I should have been doing. I think primarily for me, it's about having like geographical independence. I mean, depending where you're from and what your family's like, it's almost like not viable to invest in housing and stuff like that like our parents or our grandparents did. Nowadays with the internet, the new real estate is the internet. That's where most of us spend our time. If you have something that's online and you have a laptop, you can work from anywhere. You don't like your country, you can move. You do like your country, you can move back there. Obviously, if you're lucky enough to have a passport. If you're coming from the West, America or Western Europe, most countries in the world are going to be cheaper for you to live in than your own home country. People associate travel with being more expensive than staying at home because I guess it's this idea that you have a vacation 2 weeks a year and then you spend all your money like getting there and on an all-inclusive resort. But if you're traveling full-time, it's actually generally cheaper than staying at home. That is obviously if you're in a country that's cheaper than your home country, but also because, I don't know, there's something about staying still in one place that means that you suddenly have all these extra costs. Like there's a housing crisis, it's expensive to rent. There's also like the cost of upkeep and repairing things. There are lots of ways to travel free, which is something that I did for a long time. House sitting, for example, couch surfing, workaway woofing, working with hotels and hostels. There are so many ways that you don't have to choose between renting and an expensive mortgage. If you have a travel blog, you can do it from anywhere. Actually getting between the places, there's hitchhiking, there's carpooling, BlaBlaCar, cycling, walking, public transport, which is a lot cheaper than driving, or it's just owning a car, like keeping the car and MOTs and stuff like that. These are the things you don't have when you're abroad. You still obviously need some money, even if you are house sitting and hitchhiking, and travel blogging is a great way to do that. You're your own boss for a start. You decide when you want to work, how you want to work, what you want to work. Because the cost To start, it isn't that high. It's like ridiculously low really if you compare it to almost any other kind of business. And then because your living costs are low as well, you actually don't need that much to break even. It's a way to be financially independent but also geographically independent. You have the best of both worlds, like the world is your oyster, vegan oyster. So a misconception about us at Traveling Weasels was that the YouTube made us money or the Instagram made us money or we got donations from the government or something. I mean, that government thing definitely wasn't true. And we did make some money from YouTube and Instagram, but primarily the thing that's kept us going all these years is the travel blog. And over time it becomes more and more valuable because the older the website, generally the more valuable it is. So in addition to being your own boss, you can also have your own platform to speak up against systems that you don't think are very nice. In the past, if you wanted to be a journalist, you would work for a magazine and you'd have a boss that you'd have to answer to, and invariably your magazine or your newspaper would have been owned by someone who's going to say don't say that. But if it's your own travel blog, you can say whatever you like. You see a problem and you can start talking about it and spreading the word. Like I say, you don't have to answer to anyone. You don't have to worry about losing your job because you own your own job. There's a guy in the streets of Budapest making these outside of the synagogue. 1,000 Jeff. He wrote his number for me on the back. So here, for example, I'm using my platform to tell you about homelessness in Hungary and in general, and to encourage you to do whatever you can to help these people and help people in general, and animals, and trees. So a buzzword that I learned very recently is wage labour, and I encourage you to also read up about that. And travel blogging can be a way to avoid wage labour. If you end up hiring people in the future, please make sure that you're paying them in an equal way, like as a co-op, so you all share equally the bounty of your endeavours. And obviously initially, if you're a solo business, there's no wage labour at all. Traveling Weasels is attempting to currently become a nomadic co-op. Last but not least, one of my favourite things about being a travel blogger is that you can be creative. Having a creative outlet is great. I ultimately do think that humans are creators. It feels nice for the soul to just put stuff out there, and also, of course, it's like a diary of your travels. There are so many things that I would have forgotten about if I hadn't written down. It doesn't have to be a travel blog, like obviously I'm recommending travel blogging because that's what I do, but you could have a blog about any and all of your interests. Thank you so much to Bluehost for bringing us this video. Like I said before, if you want to start with your own website, you can get the hosting for $2.95 thanks to this video. Thank you for watching it, and I hope you have a really nice day.